back to I94 Podcast. You are here with Mumbles, Devo, and Rico. And today we are going to discuss something that everybody uses. You're probably on it right now. Social media. Fellas, what y'all think about social media?
Well, social media's been around for a long time. I mean, I remember being on, what was it, Black Planet?
Yep.
Back in
and MySpace.
Yeah. Black Planet was the first one for me, though. Like, I remember, being in, high school, messing with Black Planet, trying to come up off that. But I think that over time, of course, technology advances and things advance over time. And social media is one of those things that happen. The things that you got with Facebook and you got Snapchat and you got Twitter, you know what I'm saying? You're able to kind of verbalize and dialogue a little bit more. But I think that the way we are viewed on social media as far as our culture sometimes is really desensitized. It desensitizes us to reality to a certain degree. And, people will tell you social media, it is reality because things that's on there is really happening, things like that. But I think it takes away from you having a personal connection with certain people over time because you just feel like everything over social media is how you're going to address your communication. So I'm going to put happy birthday on your wall, but I'm not going to call you and tell you happy birthday. So, you know what I'm saying? That desensitizes you from having that personal connection. Or if you got a situation with somebody where y'all had an argument or something happened at an event that you was at, you'll go on the social network and you may say, well, I'm going to say this over Twitter. Or I'm going to put this in my Facebook status.
You're going to subliminally say something, but you're not going to address
But you're not going to say it to the person.
Exactly.
And then if you do say it to the person, y'all have an entire spat out back and forth over the social media.
For everybody to see. In my personal opinion, I feel like when social media was created, especially you look at the biggest social media outlet that most people use, which is probably Facebook. When it was created, for college kids to just be able, to post, pictures and, capture memories that they had. But I feel like the way it is used now is being abused. When you think about how people use social media, where you'll post some negative stuff. Like, one thing I hate about social media is how people will quickly post people fighting. That's one thing I hate to see.
Oh, that bothers me so much.
And they get so much attention, but if I post something that's educational wise, not to say that I'm posting for likes, but it's like it may not get as much as attention as if, I post some bullshit.
Well, Charlemagne, the guy always say, the lie's always more entertaining.
Yeah, definitely.
Than the truth. So more people go towards that. You know what I mean? They'll look at it for the oohs and ahs about it. But as far as the growth standpoint from some of the other stuff that may be posted, oh, no. They don't want no affiliation with that. But it also comes with a fear factor. You know what that fear factor is?
What's that?
Other people.
Why is it other people?
Because some of the things that you put up on social sites or things of that nature that may be towards your culture, I'm going to give you an example. Okay. If I put up something that's talking about racial sensitivity, so let's say I put up something from one of the great black lecturers or something like that, talking about something dealing with racism.
Right. Okay.
Somebody that's black that identifies with the status, they may not like it. They may not repost because social networks tell everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know what may pop up in my feed line or yours. I mean my timeline. Right. I don't know what may do. So it may say such and such liked this. But if I have 5 coworkers, that's my friend, and they see that I like this, they may not like it or they may not say anything on the pitch because if that pops up just coincidentally on their timeline, you may be upset because that may make their perception of you different at work.
It can. And I think that's a good point to bring up, the way that social media affects people in the workplace. Whereas I get the label of being a radical, which I'm fine with, but at the end of the day, I will always speak the truth. So somebody can agree with me, but they may not necessarily want that association with me on social media because you don't want people to know that you have the same kind of views that I have when it comes to certain topics that affect us on an everyday basis. And it's just interesting to me that, social media has afforded people the opportunity to not live in reality. Everybody wants to put up these perceptions that their life is one way, when in reality, it's not.
It's a psychological issue on our culture itself, though, because I think us as a whole are one of the most materialistic cultures that there are, because we focus more so on that to be substantial to what is looked at as growth in life. So as a female, if I got the red bottom shoes, whatever those are, or if I got if I got the Gucci belt, or if I got the latest J's that just came out, the picture has to be posted for social acceptance. Social acceptance.
Yeah.
And then we base looking at that stuff of how we look at somebody else as being equal. Like, so if I got J's and you can't buy J's because your responsibilities may be somewhere else,
You're not successful.
You're not successful. You're not considered, you know what I'm saying, a part of that class or that, you know what I'm saying, that social group because you didn't do that.
I could see that. So like why, like, you know, our culture, why do we put so much focus and so much importance towards social media?
In my personal opinion, I feel like we put so much emphasis towards social media is because we feel like we still have something to prove. Slavery did a real number on us where, you know, we couldn't express ourselves in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So now we have an outlet to where we can say what we want, we can post what we want, and, you know, because we're in a position where we didn't have anything, now that we think we have access to things, we gotta let everybody know, man, I'm making it. You know what I'm saying? So I need to post this new purse I got. I need to post these new shoes I got. I need to post this new house I just, you know, closed on. So it's like we put up things to get validation from other people, which at the end of the day, it hurts us more than anything because that's what separates us more than anything. Like Rico said, like, so for somebody who may quote unquote be a sneakerhead, you post a picture of some Jordans and another person might not have some, but I'm pretty sure that picture that got the Jordans would get more likes than somebody who's posting something that may not pertain to fashion.
Same thing go for kids. You know, kids, we talked about kids and how they imitate what they see. They mimic a lot of stuff.
They mimic behavior.
And one thing that I kind of want for my children, I don't want them to have access to social media until they get to maybe 17 or 18 years old.
I feel like you need to be a certain age. You need to be mature enough.
It started off being a certain age, but
you have to be in college.
As time went on,
it becomes like everything else.
I think you could be like
business.
7 or 8 to create a Facebook.
Yeah, I mean you could be that, but the thing is you got predators out here. You know what I'm saying? You got certain things that's gonna conform your kid's mind to certain ways because you can't be there 24/7.
You can't.
You work. You know what I'm saying? You come home, you cook, you clean. It's only so much that when your kid get older, they gonna talk to you about certain things. You can't force nothing out of a kid. Like they're not gonna talk to you about everything, but what they seeing on social sites and on social media may be the perception that's developing them every day.
It shapes their mind.
It's developing every day, regardless of what you tell them. They do it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna shape their mind every day.
Psychologically, and it's all because photos. To me, I feel like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Vine, they're more impactful than Twitter. Because on Twitter, it's just 140 characters. It's just words being said. Not too many people want to sit up here and read a bunch of tweets all day. But visually, when you see something, it does something to your psyche.
Of course it does.
Like, it's almost like television. If you keep seeing it over and over constantly, like if you follow a celebrity or you follow, you know, a certain food or whatever, like, and they steady posting the same imagery, that's what you're gonna start feeling. That's what you're gonna start seeing emotionally.
That's what you identify with. And I give you a prime example. At the school that I work at, it was Friday, so these kids was outside having a conversation, and this girl didn't have a coat on, and this other girl was making a joke like, "Man, what? She couldn't get no Columbia coat," and that just lets you know how social media affects kids today, where they feel like if you don't have a certain label, you're not popular.
You're not in it. Yeah, you're not in the in group. But you know what? That's been going on for years though. Because when I was coming up, shoot, if you couldn't get no Jabot, you couldn't get no Jabot. And then I remember early on in high school, shoot, if you ain't had the latest Tommy Hilfiger jam
or Nautica,
yeah, if you ain't had that, like you weren't considered in the crew. So I mean, at a young age. Even that was back then when social media wasn't even really, you know what I'm saying, cracking like that.
And to speak to that, I feel like, granted, you know, we've all experienced, you know, these things where you may not be able to afford a certain label, but we didn't have social media back then. So now it's like, you know, this whole cyberbullying thing. First of all, if any of you parents out there that have children and your child is being cyberbullied, I feel like you failing as a parent. Because how in God's name do you allow your kid to be cyberbullied? First of all, why the hell are you allowed to be on social media any damn way? When you look at, the disparity in our communities and you look at all the issues that we face, why is social media so important? It almost makes you ask the question, is social media addictive? Like, I know people that, I feel like this, if social media just crashed today, it would really affect people's lives. If you couldn't get on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, people would lose their damn mind.
It's very addictive.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I got the sites. We all got them. You know what I'm saying? We need them to touch a bigger mass of people because the street way of doing it, I mean, it's non-existent. You know what I'm saying? If you want to touch some of those people, you do. But the only thing is, how do you dissect what's considered to be reality opposed to what's really fake?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, I mean, you got people who steal pictures. Then you say, like you got people who would say, if this person can't afford to buy the Jordans and they buy them every week, but the other person come across that picture and they can't do it, people take that picture to show to other people because they worried about another person's perception. One thing about me is I've never cared about nobody's perception about me. I don't care what your Rico, always gonna be Rico. Ain't nothing you gonna take away from me. You can talk about how I dress. You can talk about what I just said at this. You can talk about what I post on Facebook. Like Devo said, he has a radical approach. Shit, I think I get the same fucking thing because every day what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to instill something in people to make them just think different about themselves and about our culture. Like how you kind of have to take so much for granted daily. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to materialistic things and clothes and things of that nature. That type of stuff that we judge and base each other off on, it took a while for me to grow out of that. You know what I mean? Like that came with age.
Right, because you were programmed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Your kid only know what you
expose them to.
Yeah, what you let come into play. Like if I had a kid, if I never bought my kid no Jordans, right? Mm-hmm. It was just for example, I never bought my kids no Jordan, and they never came across kids who put Jordans on a mass level. My kid will never know or think of that being as important or entity
or
that
something
they
that
need,
they even want.
Right. You know what I mean? In order to survive, unless they came across that. You know what I mean? Like that is something that we kind of need to learn to do with our youth and our parents. I mean, as parents, we need to do that with our youth. We should learn to kind of teach them values more so into different things opposed to just the name of it. Because to me, at the end of the day, all that shit is fucking yarn and thread with a name thrown on it.
But one thing you have to really understand is you said parents. Today's generation, in my opinion, social media is the parent. It tells you how to dress. It tells you, how to act, the newest trend, the newest dance, the newest music that's out, the newest artists. So it's like there is no responsibility no more, for the younger generation. Like, it's kids in 5th, 6th, 7th grade, they got Facebook accounts, they got Instagram accounts. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that affects the quality of education because, so I read a lot of the papers that the students write at the school that I work at. And when I read some of these papers or just anything that they write down, their writing is terrible because they're so used to being on social media that they write how they text. They can't even write full sentences because you writing LOL. You know what? That's not a fucking word.
You know what? That's not even just on y'all level of school because my first year of grad school, I was teaching. My assistantship was teaching a class, and I had all freshmen.
Yeah.
And 60 freshmen, they used to write like that then. I was in 2009.
Yeah.
And they was in their first year of college, writing like that in my classroom. So just think about how they writing that in English.
Yes.
Or what they doing in reading.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The
one-on-one.
only thing they can really write is like a Drake quote or a rapper quote or a Beyonce lyric or something, like pretty much.
So with that, what are some of the pros or the advantages of social media?
Well, some of the pros of social media, like Facebook, to keep in touch with relatives that do not live in the same city or state as you.
Friends too.
Friends as well, also. I can't really think of too many more pros,
I feel like nowadays, because we're moving into the more of the entrepreneurial state, you have a lot of people that use these social outlets as a way, like Rico said, to reach more people. So if you're an entrepreneur and you got a business, you may not be able to reach somebody that's in Atlanta if you're based in Chicago. Mm-hmm. So that's a way, that people utilize social media, which is good.
more overhead.
It is.
Because if you want to touch people in Atlanta at the point you don't have social media, you got to fly to Atlanta. You got to
Exactly.
get in tune with somebody who knows certain people and markets to be in Atlanta. So
and then you think about the educational standpoint that is being used, where it raises the awareness. Like, it's a lot of things that I've learned, you know, being on social media, primarily Facebook, you know, just from a historical standpoint.
That I probably would have never got a hold of.
Yeah, you know, even books that I've, you know, came across that were referenced by somebody that I may follow, you know, on Facebook. So I think it's a lot of pluses. I just think that us, primarily being black people, we abuse it, whereas we have no balance. Whereas, like, I'm not saying that you can't, you know, like Jordans, you can't like certain things, because we all have things, we all have our vices. So like I said, you have your righteousness side and you have your righteousness side. But I feel like with us, everything is bullshit. Everything, we are attracted to ratchet shit.
And anyone who feels like we wrong or disagree, I would just like you to just go to 10 people you follow, look at their pages, and then go to 10 non-African American, black, whatever, people that you don't follow or don't know. Their page is open. Their page is just full of quotes, kids, smiley stuff, happy stuff, whatever. But it's them, and it's their everyday life.
It's naturalistic.
It's not, unless it's a celebrity, it's not, you know, oh, I got this, so you need to be on this. And if you don't have this, then you weak, basically.
You know what's another thing that that I find crazy that only our culture really does when it comes to social media? Alcohol. How we relate alcohol to a certain status as well. So, you know, if you can say we going to the club tonight and we popping bottles, you know what I mean, or we doing that's getting thrown up on social media.
Everybody takes a picture and a snap of them in VIP.
I hate
everybody
like,
takes
man.
Everybody takes a picture of the waitress bringing the sparklers with the bottle.
Yeah,
every girl goes to Sugar Factory and records the foamy $30 drink that does not taste good at fucking all. I don't care what any of you say, and that food is disgusting. That place is weak. Yeah.
But I just feel like that's one of the biggest downfalls of social media, whereas people can't even live in the moment no more. Like, you can't go to the movies.
The phone gotta come out.
You can't go to no concert. You can't go out to eat.
The phone gotta come out.
You gotta take a picture of what the hell you eating, and then post it on social media. And it's like, okay, I get it.
And it's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong if you do that here and there. But some people, they have to do it.
That's their life.
Day, every day.
That's their life all day, every day. Like, everything you do. Like, oh, I'm about to check in at this restaurant. Oh, you know, I'm about to go to Target. This is what I just bought at Target. Here's my receipt. Like, I just feel like people overuse it, like, and for no reason, like, because that's their outlet, because that's their life. They don't really have anything else going on. So social media has become their life, where you gonna know everything about this person. And a lot of times we put our business on social media, and then we get mad when people respond to the things that we put on social media. Like, but you put it out there for people to have an opinion about. So why you mad?
You know what? Also, what it does, I think, is why we see this so much, because social media gives people a chance to rebuild themselves. Like how you may have been, especially for our generation. Yeah. Like how we may have know some people who may have been like what you consider to be lame in high school.
They weren't popular. They may not have been as known.
You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, they wasn't really in the in crowd and things like that. Because let's face it, that happens. That's what happens in high school. With
happens
social
in life.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But with social media, like when you get to a grown state of life, people move to different states. They go to different places, get to know new people. So social media gives them a chance to rebuild their character to a certain degree. So in order to showcase what I didn't have back around that time, or what I was judged on back then,
I got now, and
I'm gonna show more on, because now I'm looking for internal satisfaction of
you
self,
looking for validation
of self. You know what I'm saying? Of self, and I need to be validated some shape, form, or fashion.
So would you say a person who's very narcissistic? Thank you. Narcissistic. I just can't say that word. But and is constantly posting materialistic stuff and vain things of themselves. Mm-hmm. Do you think that they have an issue with, you know, their own self?
I do. Yeah. I feel like people that are always posting material things, their personal life is in shambles. They have no personal life. You know, it's a lot of people that put up things on social media and that you're just looking at them, you'll think they got the perfect
The
life.
best life ever.
But
it's a deep down problem.
It's a deep rooted problem where they'll have you believing that their relationship is really one thing and it's really not. They getting abused. But the thing is, social media affords you to lie, because who really knows the truth outside of the person that's really posting, unless you just really know this person. Like, and that's the thing. I think a lot of times people forget that there are people out here that know you in real life, like. And y'all can speak to that. Like, if I post some shit on social media, you and Rico would be like, this nigga lying. I was just with him yesterday. He ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? But social media makes you feel like that everybody is supposed to accept your mediocrity. You know what I'm saying? Whereas you don't have to be real on social media. You can be anybody you say you are.
Also, if you get too real with certain people on social media,
it can cause you to lose friends.
Yeah. That's just what's happening.
It can cause you to lose friends.
Friends,
Family,
relationships, family.
Yeah.
It causes you to lose so much, but why is that? Like, why? How does something as simple as posting a picture with a caption cause you to lose friends, family, and relationships?
Because it brings out that which was already there that we never paid attention to.
So it's only so much that social media can hide or protect.
Yeah.
Before the truth eventually comes out at some point.
I agree. Like Rico was saying, like when you start posting, issues that pertain to the black community, you'll have people that will start to look at you differently. Like, you posting too much radical stuff, or you're racist, or you shouldn't post that because it might offend somebody. Well, here's my thing. This is a disclaimer. If you follow me on Facebook and you see something that I post and it makes you feel some type of way, my personal advice to you is let that shit fly. Because if I'm not addressing you personally, it's not meant for you. And the thing is, when it comes to history, particularly when it comes to our history, if I post something that may make a certain other group seem like they evil, then that's just what it is. I'm not calling nobody, specifically out, but history, it can't hide the truth. And I think a lot of people want to hide behind that, and that's why they go to social media. But when you see certain things, it makes you feel a certain type of way because you can't identify with that, or you trying to hide from it because it makes you feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it takes you out your comfort zone.
Yeah.
One thing, if you go to my Facebook page, I guarantee you will see nothing but stuff pertaining to our community.
Period.
Nothing. You'll see videos of black comics. You'll see black historians, black lecturers, black stories, things that's happening now. You know what I'm saying? With our culture, things that happened way back then and make things a certain way now. Future predictions. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't do it for likes. I don't care about any of that stuff.
People don't want to see that shit.
I don't that's the thing. That's the thing. They don't, because that's why I say when you do things that's too real, it becomes a problem. So go ahead, say what you about to say.
No, I was gonna say, or people would always tell like you too, like, oh, create another page for that, or
for what?
Another outlet for that, because they don't want to see it.
Okay.
So that way they can specifically know, oh, okay, I don't want to see the radical side of Rico and Devo. I just want to see the cool turn up side.
The thing about that is we not those people no more. So over time, like if you think about movies earlier on days when we was on social media, like you may have saw that side because that's what we were. That was the reality of what we were at the time. But
you gotta grow up.
Yeah, and some people don't like to grow up.
And that's the whole thing. Social media allows you to stay the same.
It stunts your growth.
You can be 40 years old and still acting like you a 20-year-old person on social media.
Yeah.
But when does social media, when does it get old? Like, when is it,
when people stop?
Will you ever get off of it?
For most people, no, because this is their life. They don't have anything else out. Listen, I know people right now with no job, nothing going on in life, but they getting up every damn day getting on Facebook like they getting paid to get on Facebook. You don't have nothing else going on in life, but you have become so enamored and consume with social media that you feel like, if I ain't on social media, I ain't doing nothing productive.
I was always like under the belief like nothing is cool if your parents or grandparents or something like that is on it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, all right, it's lame. All right, I'm done. I'm done with all social media. If I see my mama like, Fleek Tuesday, like no, I'm done. Like it's over. Thank God my mama is not on any of that.
Right.
Shout out to you, mama. Love
Yeah, I
you.
mean, and I just think, like Rico said, as you get older and as you start to evolve, you start to look at life in a whole different perspective. And I know, with Rico and myself being fathers, it kind of shapes how you start to look at things.
Yeah, instead of posting photos in the club or at a bar kicking it, you posting photos out with your family, you with your kids. Like,
and I, like for me, like Rico said earlier, I'm of the same mindset where I don't post anything for likes because I don't give a damn about it. Like I post it because I feel like Facebook gives us a way to where we can start to control our own images.
Mm-hmm.
We can start to control our narrative to where we can tell the true history of our own people and our culture. And I feel like we need it bad.
And because people who, not to cut you off, the people who we talking about that post for likes, y'all know who y'all are. Because y'all posted on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, everything. You link everything. That's one thing I don't get.
You know what's so crazy about it?
I do not
though?
get that.
You know what's so crazy about it? I know some people who will post something, and if it does not get a certain amount of likes, they take it down.
No, damn that. I know people. It's crazy how serious social media is where somebody can send you a friend request. And if you don't accept it, they mad at you. Like, wait a minute. You mad because I didn't accept your friend request on social media? And then here's my thing, too. For people that use social media as a way to be cowards, if you know a person in real life and you got an issue with them, don't go to social media. Go to that person.
I agree.
If
you have my cell phone number, please just call, text. Do not, you know what I mean? Why would you post stuff on social media?
I make sure I do that with people that's close to me. I'll give you an example from today. Matter of fact, my frat brother. Shout out to my frat brother Keenan. He just had his first son yesterday.
Congrats to him, man.
Congrats.
Black fatherhood.
I was on Facebook this morning, and I didn't even see his post about it, but I seen his son's mother post, about the labor and how long it was and stuff like that. And I easily could have got on there and said happy, congrats.
Right. You could do the 100th comment up, right?
I sent him a text message. Because I know he's at the hospital, you know what I'm saying, with his son having those moments. So I sent him a text, congratulations on the birth of your son. I took it away from social media. Because just because I didn't put it on social media didn't mean I didn't, see it or take acknowledge to it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But some people really get affected about it. Like, you didn't tell me this over
You didn't like my status.
Instagram or Facebook, or
you didn't like my picture.
You didn't do this because over the social networks. Like, so I feel like I told you earlier, it desensitizes us from personal connections with people. Right. And one thing I always try to do is, like, if I know you and I see something on social media that I was on, if I have your connect number or something like that, and I got the time, like, I ain't gonna say like every time I have time, because sometimes I come across stuff while I'm at work, and I may not be able to call you because I'm at work doing something. So that's when you may see me do it throughout the week. But if I really have that time, I'm gonna call you and say, congratulations on woo woo. Like, you're gonna get that personal connection from me, or you're gonna get a text and say, yo, happy birthday, and I may not put it on a social site because I want to have that connection with you. Same goes for family. I feel like it should be the same way, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? That's something that we need to fix just within ourselves. So if you see that next time you got friends, family, things that come up, man, call them.
Call them and go see them and congratulate them the proper way.
That voice means a lot when you come talking to somebody. Like, really think about it when you grew up. You know what I'm saying? When I grew up, when if I had an issue or something, or I need to talk to my granddad, or if I was out and I had to call my dad, like, yo, you don't have to tell me this on the social site. You don't have to show me this. Some moments ain't for social sites. Regardless of what you say, you can think that everything is joyous and occasions. Some moments not. What kills me the most is when people post stuff at funerals.
Oh my God, that's the worst.
Death is something that's not to play with, and I think that's thing that some people do because they looking for sympathy.
Yeah.
So that's why them the main people I feel have an internal issue because they looking for a sympathetic view from everybody else. I shouldn't be able to see a picture of your grandmama laying in the casket.
I mean, but you look at it the same way with church. With being today's Sunday, I can go on Facebook right now, and it'll be people that's at church posting stuff like, "Oh, my pastor just delivered this sermon. He quoted from this Bible scripture." Ain't you supposed to be paying attention if you at church? How the hell you got time to post stuff on Facebook? If you supposed to be going to church to get a word, to be taught, why you on social media?
The church, one thing about the church, though, the church has elevated to the social media masses.
Churches
to expand their business.
Because
churches have hashtags.
to expand because of how the economy has been.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. I mean, at the church that I grew up in, I used to attend, I used to be on the trustee board. And one thing as the church was developing, one of the biggest things in the trustee meetings was moving to social media, utilizing it to try to grow membership and grow people into the church. And the reason was because just based on the economy, people wasn't coming. They wasn't giving money. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? The church didn't have room to really operate in a business standpoint. So how could it affect the building and the operations? You don't want to, people who are invested in church, don't get me wrong, they don't want to lose it. They don't want to lose it. It's their livelihood. They don't want to lose it. So, that's something that comes with us to where people, they take away from what's actually going on in the church and getting that word that they're supposed to be looking for. And they're on social media sites. They want to show you on the other end, this is where I'm at every Sunday.
Yeah.
So now I want you to judge this part of my life today because this is where I'm at.
And if you're not here, then something's wrong.
Then something's wrong with you because you're not here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I think it boils down to it being a psychological issue.
Yeah, a lot of it is psychological. Just speaking to the whole point, you made earlier, Rico, about it desensitizing us. I feel like that's dead on. We look at the events that go on today, and I feel like a lot of them, excuse me, are purposely put on social media, so we can see them over and over again, to where it's like you can see somebody.
Hold on one second.
Yeah. You can see somebody, being assaulted physically. You can see somebody, being beat up, by police. And we to the point now where instead of us trying to help that person, we'll pull out our phones.
That's cowardly to me. That's so cowardly to me because I'm not saying I'm like the most righteous person ever or nothing like that, but I'm a person that if I do see something wrong being done, I'm going to speak up and say something about it. I'm going to approach you about it. I'm not just going to let it keep happening or whatever the case is. Like, if it boils down or translates to be something else, then so be it. But I'm a moral person, too. I feel like I should stand up for it, especially if it's dealing with a person of color.
Yeah.
Especially if it's dealing with a black person. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking it away from any other race because if it was happening with any other race, too, I probably would say something, ask a question. But if I see it happen to somebody that's black, I'm definitely going to ask some questions and approach the situation. I'm not taking out a cell phone. I'm not about to document this. If it gets documented by someone else,
cool.
That didn't want to say nothing, cool. That's on you and that's on them. But I feel like it's very cowardly when that's the first thing that happens. The way, like we were talking earlier, the way Eric Gardner was murdered, it shouldn't have been taped to where nobody was saying nothing to the cops.
Nobody was doing nothing.
Nobody did anything besides take out a phone and record. Sir, he's not breathing. Sir, he says, that man yelled, I can't breathe constantly.
And there was several people around in broad daylight, and nobody felt like, damn, this is another human being that's about to lose his life. And my first course of action is to take out a damn phone and record it, and then I'm going to post it on social media just to see how much traction it's going to get.
So I could talk about it. So you could say, I was there. I saw this happen. I seen this. You know what I'm saying?
It was wrong.
Yeah. But did you physically do something of action to help that?
Nope.
To save that?
Nope.
We don't see.
They feel like recording it will help.
That's not helping anything because the moment is right there.
Yeah.
That moment's not coming back.
It's not.
The moment is right there. So you have to step up at that time and do something. Fuck your phone.
But it's just like you said though. It's psychological to where that has become the way that we respond to everything. You look at this current situation that happened with the sister in the classroom. Where that cop came in and he physically assaulted her. And the video circulated. It was all over social media. And the first thing we think to say is, "Oh man, he was wrong." This and that. Or, Black Lives Matter, or whatever the case may be. But, Then you also have people that will justify why the cops' actions were warranted.
Why didn't nobody help that girl? After
not a teacher.
The moment went down so quick, you know what I'm saying, when he flipped the desk or whatever, but after the desk was flipped, before he even got a chance to yank her out, somebody should have been stopping
First
him.
of all, no. That fucking teacher, excuse my language, mama, I know you gonna listen, but I feel like a lot of times we make our point, you have to use profanity. So that teacher, that pussy ass nigga that was in that classroom and stood there and watched that girl get tossed around like she was a fucking piece of laundry or some trash, that's the shit I be talking about, where social media has conditioned us to believe that is okay, to where we watch our own get assaulted, get murdered, and we just stand by and do nothing. Like, are we that disconnected from humanity to where, like I said, our first course of action is to pull out a phone? Like,
it's gonna be talked about for a week and it's gonna fade.
Yeah, just like Sandra Bland.
That's the whole thing with social media. It's talked about for a certain time frame and it just completely fades away. Like, that's why when you put up hashtags, you put up statuses. I'll give you an example for Chicago. We know it's a lot of senseless killings in Chicago that happen out of nowhere, right?
Right.
You see people put up statuses and say, you know, put the guns down and all this other shit like that. Man, those people that doing this shooting, they not seeing your fucking status.
They don't care.
They don't care about
they
you.
out there shooting.
But you putting up there for social satisfaction to show that you appeal or that you were part of the cause. You'll never see me put that type of stuff up, or you never see me put Black Lives Matter. But I believe that all Black lives do matter, but I don't feel like that social network portion of what you're doing, I don't feel like that's activating nothing. You know what I mean?
It make you feel good.
Me reposting different things that happen with culture, that start dialogue.
Yeah.
Us doing this podcast every time we're dealing with Black cultures, that start dialogue. That have people rethinking some of the stupid repetition things that they do every week, every day of life to do things differently. You know what I'm saying? That's why I told Devo when we was talking, I said, bro, we social network activists. Like, because back then...
we always get that.
Because back then, to be an activist, you know what I'm saying, you rally people up for a social cause to cause a change, right?
Yeah,
right?
But since we live in a cowardly type of vibe with people who can't do it, you may be too busy, you don't have time. Marching don't do anything. I don't care what you say nowadays. Even then, it probably didn't to my standpoint. But now you have to get on the social network to a certain point to rally people up to affect the change, because that's the only way you're going to get to them communication-wise for it to happen.
To reach a mass amount of people.
You're not going to...
That's sad. We can't even talk on the phone or meet up in person or something. It got to be through social media every day, constantly, every hour, every post.
Like, you would get an invite to somebody's life event on Facebook before you get a text message or a phone call.
That happened, yeah.
And if you don't respond, they'll feel like, well, I sent you a message on Facebook, but you know me in real life, though. Why you ain't just pick up the phone and call me?
Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, you might even go back to know nothing about the event on Facebook. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody send me a message about an event that's coming up in a month, I may need a reminder. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
call me.
That's true.
Text me. Say, yo, this coming up.
Well, what if you deleted your Facebook in that time span?
That could happen too. What if I disconnect from it? I was on Facebook for like a year and a half at one point.
And I feel like we have to take it in doses. Like, so I got off Facebook last year around the same time, right before the holidays came, because I feel like you have to do things in moderation. And when you do the same thing over and over and over again, it becomes a part of your everyday routine to where you feel like it's something that you're supposed to do. Like I said, it's people that get up every day and they on every form of social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat.
I want to know what all of our listeners do. As soon as you wake up, you grab that phone. What's the first...
We all guilty of
it. I am too. But I just want to know, what's the first site you go to when you get up? Is it Facebook, Instagram, Snap, Twitter? What is it?
Snapchat for me.
Yeah, I would have to go with Snap.
Well, I don't have Snapchat. All I have is Facebook.
Oh yeah. If anybody wondering why I haven't really spoke on Facebook, I'm not on Facebook. Never
have been.
Never have been.
Can you believe that?
Don't plan to either.
Never had a Facebook account.
Don't plan to either. So that's just how I feel about Facebook. But so like I got a couple of I want to say stats, or like when things was created. So like Facebook was launched February 4th, 2004. Later on, April 9th, 2012, for $1 billion, it purchased Instagram. Instagram started in 2010. Instagram has over 300 million users. And as of 2014, it grew from this other site called Foursquare. Twitter started on March 21st, 2006, and it has 5 million users, and more than 302 million people are active daily, which brings 340 million tweets a day.
340 million tweets.
A day.
And you think about it, out of those 340 million tweets, a lot of people ain't saying shit. You doing a whole lot of talking about nothing. And that's my thing. That's the thing that gets me the most. Like, people would be so quick to say that Black Lives Matter, but when you look at their timeline, it's filled with bullshit. My thing is, if you have a platform, and that's the way I look at social media, as it being a platform where we should be raising the awareness of different issues that affect us and people like us on an everyday basis. And I get it. Everybody's not going to be conscious. Everybody's, not going to take that stance where they want to inform the people about different things that's going on, which is fine. But at the same time, it's like, what are you really doing it for? What are you really utilizing it for? Why are you on here? Are you doing it because everybody else is doing it, because you want to be accepted? You don't want to be alienated like anybody else? And that's the thing. Like, we have so many people with different platforms, that they don't utilize them for what it's for. And another thing, social media has created a generation of people that have no talent. None whatsoever.
Oh.
None whatsoever.
Shout out to Ice JJ, A-Town, Welvin the Great. Why you always lying, buddy? I could go on and on. I just had to get that out.
But that's a good point though, because like I said,
amount of likes.
Yeah, like it goes back to the point where you have a lot of people who are on social media, but they don't have a lick of talent. But we've made them famous because why? We've given them attention. We've given them attention. And okay, you have these people that are famous, they celebrities, but what are they using their platform to do? So you got somebody that may have 1 million followers. That's a lot of influence. What are you using it to do though?
Influence themselves. I mean, okay, we could break it down. To be a famous chick, you gotta have a fat ass, or we could just say nice body, tattoos, makeup, clothes. You shop in exclusive places and you go to exclusive things. For a guy, the latest fashion, drive a nice car, hang out with celebrities.
Be in VIP. Pop bottles.
Yeah. Everybody's a celebrity. Once you break it down, everybody's famous in their own right.
Oh, that's what people want to strive
that's what they
to be.
Or they want to be famous amongst a certain group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because just like every entertainer got their own following.
Yeah.
Like regular people got their own circle of friends that they want to have a certain societal status with. You know what I mean? So that's why you're going to see it from that standpoint. One thing that bothers me about social media, when he talked about the people with no talent, the men, specifically the black men who dress up as females.
Oh my God. That is the worst.
Specifically those. But to y'all, that's entertainment though. To the people that out
Nigga,
there
that's
that watches and like, yeah, that's what it is.
But it's dudes that's actually, I don't know if they're making a living, but it's men out here that actually do that, and women view that as okay. Like, girl, that's me. Girl, ain't that us? And they and hashtag they friend. Like, this is okay.
That's
but then be like, ain't no good men out here.
That's a lost soul.
But you praising a man every day that's dressing
like a woman.
Dressing up and acting like you act.
Like a woman.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, that's what social media has created. I give you a prime example. So, when the government passed a bill, where people of alternative lifestyles, the LGBT community could get married, everybody was changing their damn profile pic to this rainbow.
Love wins.
And it's like, okay, if that's what you support, cool. But for black people in particular, all y'all asses that was changing y'all Facebook profile pictures to that damn rainbow status, but when something happens that affects us in a negative light, I can't get you to share nothing. I can't get you to speak up on nothing, but you'll go change your damn Facebook profile picture to a damn rainbow.
And You know what that reminds me of. What that brings to light is, let's look back in like the civil rights, so-called civil rights movement, right? Remember how back then you had some of the strongest camaraderie amongst blacks.
Yeah.
I mean, we was standing up for everything that was racially injustice that you would do, right? So one thing that I just noticed just from reading and kind of analyzing, looking at the times, is how that whole movement was basically broken because they separated into by bringing a different movement in.
Women's rights.
So they brought you women's rights. They bought you just like now. They just bought you the gay rights to do certain things. Mm-hmm. So what it does, it takes your focus off elevation of your own people, because now in your mind they just psychologically got you twisted to believe that you fit with this. This is what you fit with.
Yeah, we okay with you in this box, but don't try and go over there.
Yeah, but don't try to do this on this standpoint.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that's another thing that reminds me of, because that's why you're not gonna see that, Devo. You're not gonna see nobody change. They post to something that's more racially elevated or something that's culturally growth-wise related. You're not gonna see it because they don't even realize that they've been twisted to flip out that box.
Nope.
You know what I mean? I mean, if I have nothing against gay people, so I mean, if you had somebody that was gay, they've been gay for so long, and they may feel like they have gone through some things with that. So as soon as that happened, yeah, they posted it up. Yeah, that's what they did. But if you saw something happen to a girl, like you saw the Sandra Bland situation, yeah, it was a few people that put some things up. It was a few. I did see that from time to time, but it was faded to black within like a week.
Fast.
The rainbow pictures lasted for 2 months, and some people still got them up. They still have them up.
And that's my whole thing, but people will be quick to say that Black Lives Matter. My thing is, if they really matter, what are you really doing about it?
What are you doing to make it matter?
Yeah.
What are you doing to see the change happen, yo? I think one of our growth in itself, it's a dying cause. Like to devote yourself to the things that our culture has been through over thousands of years, from slavery to now, it's a dying cause to do, because
it's tough.
Yeah, it is. You know what I'm saying? But you can only affect so much at one time, and the biggest way you can affect it is realistically with the youth.
Yeah.
But the youth need to train from the adults. So you see the domino effect on how this process happens. The only way you're gonna change is with the youth. Like I put up a status last week that said I couldn't work in the school system with kids because the way I hear some of the kids talk, just in general, they talk to you as if they're your equal, as if they're an adult.
They do.
And you know why that is? Because they're able to talk that way at home to their parent.
If they parent even at
That's
home?
if the parent is there.
Well, like I said, social media is their parent.
That's what I'm saying. They view that as being whatever on social media.
Yeah.
Some of the things that I hear them say, there's no way I would even mimic that word close around.
But you know why though? Because their parent is on social media with them.
I was just finna say that.
Which is like, okay,
advocating
so
the same type of behavior.
So if my mama posting statuses and what she wearing, what you think I'm finna do?
Oh yeah.
If my mama talk like this, how you think I'm gonna talk? Mm-hmm. And if I see my mama talking to her friends this way or other relatives, I'm gonna talk to her the same way.
Because they definitely gonna see it. It's gonna be in your timeline.
Of course.
Definitely gonna be that.
So that's why you have that issue. And again, it's like when does it end, or when is it enough? Social media, like ever.
It'll never be enough because it comes with the time. Like, this is the time that we live in. It ain't gonna do nothing but keep elevating from one thing to the next. Just look how I just said in the beginning of the podcast, we had Black Planet back then when I was in 9th grade, 10th grade. I'm 29 now, years long down the line, and we still got other social media aspects. It's just gonna flip flop to be something else.
But I feel like now, with all the selfies being taken, which is now they made it a job where you can actually get paid for taking selfies. And it's like, don't y'all realize what they doing to us? Like, every little dumb thing we're doing, they're capitalizing off of it. We see y'all want to take pictures of yourself. Now we're going to, okay, you can advertise and take pictures, and we'll give you $0.25 per picture. And people are doing that.
They giving you $0.25 per picture because they getting $20 per picture.
Exactly. But our dumb ass is still snapping them damn selfies. Men and women. I still don't get why a man takes selfies, but whatever. So it's one of those, like, after all, I guess the new wave what do you all see coming next, or can you like say evolving after Facebook, Instagram, Twitter?
I don't know, but what I
Snapchat?
would like to see is, like I said, because granted, while we brought up the facts that the negative aspects of social media, I think social media has the potential to do a lot of great things. So the way that Facebook is, I would like to see us have our own modem like that, where it's for all black businesses, where we have
Platform.
yeah, where we have a record of, because you think about all the businesses that we have. I can't tell you how many cleaners it is. I can't tell you how many restaurants we have. So I feel like if we could get to the point where we utilizing it for what it could be used for, then that's great. But it's hard to do that because social media has warped our brains to where we walking around like zombies. You got on a Jordan hat. I want to be your friend. Why? Because I got on some material. They got a logo on it.
And do you know my internal worth? Have you got to know my internal character?
Have you had a conversation with me?
To see if it identifies?
So that brings me to this question. Who do you think social media affects more, men or women?
Ooh,
Women.
I think men.
Why?
Go ahead, tell you why.
I think it's men because I feel as though, not to sound sexist, but that's more expectant of women to kind of post materials themselves, etc. But when you have men out here who act feminine on social media, I think it affects them way more because they care more about what an individual thinks versus a female.
You think so?
In some aspects, yes.
What'd you say, Rico?
I say women because, one, you said it's expected of women to post those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So women are the masses who do those type of things, but those men that are identifying with the woman to dress like a woman are doing it for women to put their input on. That's where most of the likes and the views come from. You see what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so I feel like it affects women more so over time because that's what they look for. That's what I see more. Put it like that. Out of me just scrolling through a timeline, scrolling through a feed, that's what I see more so than anything. Because I see women posting more things that are more so materialistic or more so stuck in a realm of just being materialism. I see it from them more so than anybody. So just for me looking at that, that's why I would say it would affect them because the men are desensitizing themselves. I mean, I don't want to say desensitizing themselves, but effeminizing themselves to identify with women, and women are encouraging it. You know what I'm saying? One thing I just heard recently that made so much sense in a video on Facebook is that you got men who dress up like women for women attention, but a woman will encourage that, and they will sit around a gay man or a man that dresses like a woman looking to identify with a woman, but won't push that encouragement on a real life sister.
Exactly.
They you know what I'm saying? A real life woman. They got clashes with. They can't sit down and talk with. They got internal beefs with, but they can have a regular conversation with that woman so they can grow as women. Women are some of the most catty people that you ever meet because everything is like they clawing for
competition.
Yeah, they clawing for competition. My husband better than yours. My life better than yours. My kids better than yours. Like everything is so competitive amongst them that's what hinders them to a certain degree from having more growth within. I'm talking about
women do have the power, especially a black woman.
Yeah, like within themselves, within the women, the black women culture itself. That's what hinders the growth to me, from my standpoint. So that's why I've said that.
I can see that. I agree with you. What you think, Devo?
I see both sides. I see men and women. But I do think the power ultimately lies with women because if you think about it, as men, a lot of reason we do the things that we do is because we seeking the attention of a woman.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
So if women would raise the standards of what they deem they want from a man,
and what they see on social media,
a lot of shit would change. Like you have women they'll post half naked pictures, but then
they're looking for attention from men.
But then you'll turn around and say it ain't no good men out here.
But they like coming from the men. When a man put up all his Jordan shoes, He want a woman to judge.
But do you want a woman or do you want a girl?
The money. That's what I'm saying.
Do you want a woman or a girl?
That's because that's what girls.
Because girls like shoes. Girls like toys. And I'm sorry, it may sound like we judging, but I feel like once you get to a certain age in life, certain things you just gotta stop doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You got a shoe fetish. You a sneakerhead. You like to collect shoes. That's cool. But for women that sit up and they advocate this type of behavior from men and then wonder why men won't stand up for women, well, look what you created this. You created this because you said, this is what I like. This is what I agree with. So how can you expect a man that you created to have this mindset that this is okay? So when something happens in real life, he's not gonna stand up for you because you haven't demanded that from him. And I feel like women have the ability through social media to raise the standards of men.
You know what's one crazy thing about social media that kind of blows my mind is that nobody has tough times.
Oh my God. No one.
But when you look at social media, like,
everybody want to be perfect.
Every life situation is good. Every bill is paid. Everything is just so
everything
gravy.
Peachy cream.
Your success is just so mastered on social media. Like, nobody can top this shit. What is your life? It's not like my life because my life is banging. You know what I mean? But that's what I mean when I say it desensitizes you from so much more of
from reality. Yes.
It's so it takes away from it because we are at a standpoint in this country where, you know, it's getting better for some, but we still accumulate for the highest rate for unemployment.
Yeah.
We still count for that. But you got money to go do all this other stuff though. Cause
social media tells you to do it.
You got money to go to the club.
It's funny. I was talking to one of my frat brothers, and he was saying, you know, why he doesn't have Instagram. He was like, because people don't post real shit. They'll post things to make you believe their life is one way, but how many people gonna post if they struggling with their bills? That ain't gonna get as many likes as you putting up a picture that you just pop all these bottles in VIP, but you got a disconnection notice at home though. You ain't gonna post that shit.
It's either, with social media, it's either real high or real low.
What you mean when you say real low?
The lowest a person will get on social media is, like y'all said earlier, a funeral.
Oh.
Or a car crash and they got a picture of the car. And then they like with the gospel or a Bible quote.
Yeah. We made it through this accident.
Exactly.
Why are you taking pictures of this? Why are you taking pictures of your kid laid up in a hospital bed or your parent or your relative laid in a hospital bed? Why? You looking for sympathy.
It's certain things that I'm just not gonna do. Like, I feel like they don't belong on social media.
Some moments in life, people, you just gotta learn to live within.
It was two people that worked at the hospital which Lamar Odom was in. They got fired for trying to take a photo of Lamar Odom just so they can post that shit on social media. That is sad. Like, why?
But you know what though? They was looking for a come up because they
wanted to sell TMZ or something.
From an entertainment standpoint, you're judged off that. Like, if you want to be a recording artist, how many likes do we get? Mm-hmm. How many followers do he have?
Yeah.
How many, how is, you know what I'm saying? Like, because we talked about having it to touch the masses. That's the way your growth masses. That's how it is in entertainment. That's how you're gonna get.
Unfortunately, now
that's what I'm saying. Now it's not really based off of you really being so talented to do
having
it.
a skill.
Because it's a lot of people who. But the crazy part about that is a lot of talented people who never make it. That's just reality.
Yeah.
It's a lot of talented people who just don't make it. But everybody has this desire to believe that with social media they can all make it.
No.
They can all be that star. They can all be that person. The crazy part about, look at Jay-Z. Jay-Z is one of the most famous people that you ever have known, right? Jay-Z don't do nothing on social media.
But everybody know him though.
Everybody know. He don't do nothing. Beyonce is the masses in the world, right?
Right.
On Instagram, Beyonce got millions of followers. I think her follow count is at 49 million. Beyonce follows no one. Go to Beyonce's Instagram page right now. She follows no one. It says 0.
And this just shows you, and I, we keep bringing this point up, but it just it validates everything that we saying. Where we say it's psychological, to where the fact that Rico just said she got all these followers, but she don't follow nobody. Say something bad about Beyonce right now, and watch the backlash you're gonna get. You can't say nothing bad about these people on social media, but these same people that you'll go to bat for, they won't say nothing about the issues that affect us. Nothing at all. And I get it. A lot of times people, for whatever reason, they may not be in a position to where they can do that, but like I said, at the end of the day, I feel like if you got a platform, it's your moral responsibility to use it. It's your moral responsibility to use it. And social media has just, I feel like it's ruining us to where we don't even look at each other as being that we value each other. Like, you can be getting your ass kicked right now, and my first course of action is to take my phone out and then use a hashtag like, man, Mumble's life mattered. Did it? If I'm right there and I'm seeing this happen, but I don't say, damn, you know what?
Did it really matter?
Exactly.
Nope.
But you're going to tell everybody else in the world that it matter when you get that post up, though.
Oh, yeah, you got to get that post up.
You know what I mean?
And there's people out here losing jobs. I mean, you have so many, ignorance through social media.
It's a lot
people
of it.
Saying stuff and doing things, posting it on their social media accounts, and their job sees this and they instantly get fired.
That's why it's only certain people I can follow on Facebook. Like, if you post a lot of bullshit and you don't post anything dealing with awareness, anything to raise, the awareness of our people,
thought.
I can't even deal with you. If all you posting is BS, you posting stuff from World Star and people fighting and all this ratchetness,
pornographic stuff,
I can't even deal, because it's like, that's not what my life consists of. And it's not to say that I'm perfect, because I see pictures where it might be a chick, she got a nice figure, a nice shape to her, you know what I'm saying, which you might like, but at the end of the day, I'm not getting on Facebook for that.
Reposting it.
No.
I ain't throwing it back up.
No.
I ain't finna talk.
I acknowledge it in my mind, like, okay, cool, but it's bigger issues going on in the world that affect us, on a day-to-day basis. But when you try to bring that up to people and you try to enlighten them on that, they look at you like, why you so serious? Why you gotta be so serious all the time?
Yeah, I get that. Or you thinking too deep. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's because, I agree with what both of you are saying. It's all about growth. But I think in our listeners' defense, some people may say they use social media as an escape or as an outlet or just for fun or whatever. So they may view certain things that you all post or see as being too deep, as they would say.
That's cool, but when that shit happened, when it hit your home front, when it happened to your kid or your relative,
then you want to post.
You gonna want that rally cry.
You gonna want to post it.
You gonna want somebody leading the march.
Just like when Eric Gardner died, he was somebody's daddy. He was somebody's son. He was somebody's nephew.
He still is.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If it happened on your home front, let's say your kid gets shot right now in Chicago. You gonna post it because you want that
The first thing you gonna do is go to social media and let everybody know what happened to your relative.
And you gonna ask for them to pray for you. You gonna ask for prayers. I see that all the time. You go to social media, this just happened to such and such. Pray for my situation. Pray for this. You gonna want it then because now it's you. So that's why I said earlier, it goes back to us being selfish.
Yeah.
It's selfish because, oh yeah, it's fun now. I'm just using it for fun now. Okay, if you was just using it for fun, when your situation happened, then don't put it up there then. Don't post it if you couldn't post it for that life over there that so-called mattered. That was a black life that mattered too, even though that situation happened in South Carolina.
I agree.
Was that fun then? No, but that's on your doorstep. And now you like, man, what did I do to deserve this? I'm not saying it's your fault, you know what I mean? But you looking for that outcry now, and you want some awareness based on the situation. Now you want to say something about senseless killings in Chicago. You might not say nothing ever before about it, but now you want to say it because your uncle got shot on 85th.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And people just ride the wave, like you said. It be popping for a week. Oh, Sandra Bland. Then the next photo or the next post, they was in the club popping bottles.
Yeah.
And so on and so on. So much for Sandra Bland.
It happens with entertainers too. Entertainers do the same thing. They rap the exact same waves as the masses do. And that's why I really consider us to be at times to really be the walking dead, because like our awareness of social consciousness on issues, it only lasts for so long. It's so temporary, man. But like what I do on social network every day, man, that's forever. I'm doing it until I die. You gonna see that from me every day. I got one.
I don't care who it make feel a certain type of way.
You gonna see it from
me. So y'all heard them. Anybody that follow them on Facebook, y'all can unfollow, and they do not care.
Sure don't.
But they letting y'all know.
But if you really want to start learning some things about yourself that you can't get from everyday people that you encounter, keep following. Keep following, because that's where I get most of my stuff from. From people who they've come across other books, they come across other teachings. It's so many Black historian teachers and lectures that I never knew about because school don't give me that. School never gave me that. College didn't give it to me. High school didn't give it to me.
That's the next episode about education.
So I was on a social site listening to seeing some brothers who was enlightening themselves because they came across these other people. Then that made me find what book they was reading.
It makes you go research.
Or made me go get on Google now and see, what other things did he write about? What other things did he talk about? And I'm not saying that everything that we post is necessarily always true, but read it. Read it and get the growth from it. Enlighten yourself, because what that's gonna do is that's gonna spark a seed inside of you to grow and look for something else. That's what I mean. That's what I mean by growth. Because now when I get to a point, I get in front of some people, I get into a circle of black lives, like we sit in this room talking about this stuff and dialoguing. I'm gonna get into another personal matter with with my frat brothers or something, or get into it with my family. Now I can start giving them things to encourage.
Think about
read this book. I was reading such and such. That's how the growth gonna happen. That's how the change gonna take effect. That's the only way it's gonna happen with our people right there and there, because we having those personal candid moments of growth. But that came from social media. So that's the positive part of social media that I agree with and I like. You know what I mean? So you can say at the end of the day, yeah, it is some fun. Me giving that growth to you, that's real fun. And it's fun to me.
Yeah. And it's like everybody has their part to play. So, you'll have people that feel like, okay, you post all this stuff on social media, but what are you doing in real life?
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the day, everybody has their part to play. The fact that you read something on somebody's page that you didn't know about, that's the part that you playing.
Yeah.
Nobody said that they was trying to be the next Malcolm X or Martin Luther King or none of that. But at the end of the day, is if you claim that you have so much love for people, it's your job to educate them. It's your job to raise the awareness of issues that affect us on an everyday basis. And that's all we saying, man. Just find the time to become enlightened and to enlighten somebody else.
Basically, like, we all get that social media is gonna be here. It's evolving. Who knows if Facebook's still gonna be existing? It probably will be though. But we just want growth from everybody. If you listen to this, whether you 15 or you 45 and you on social media, just carry yourself with some type of substance and realness. It don't always have to be what the masses want you to be. Like, who cares how many followers and likes you get? Half these people who have thousands of followers, you get them in a room, they are the lamest people in the world.
And they can't give you nothing. I guarantee you.
Nothing.
And they give you nothing. They give you nothing physically, emotionally, anything. Like, they can't do anything.
And I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know if y'all ever think about it from this standpoint, but when you learn and you become one, you become closer with God. That's what you're supposed to get. You're supposed to get growth. You're supposed to get substance. So, if we made in His image, like they say, you know what I'm saying? We was made in an image. That should be the same thing you look for out of your daily activities in life. Period. From the people you encounter, from when you go to work, from when you go to school, it should be something related to growth, especially within your own culture, especially within your own race. Other races do it. They uplift each other in those manners. So why can't
can we be like the Asians and the Jews, black people? Please,
no. We don't want to be like anybody.
Nah, we want to.
No. I'm saying as far as unity, as far as unifying. Like, can we do that? Like, because they stick together like no other. Like, I want us to be that.
I don't know, man. I sometimes I wonder.
Yeah, I do too. I think the Mass Effect, man, from them Jim Crow days, man, did a number on us psychologically.
It's always because we want to be at the top or we want to be better than the next person.
We looking for acceptance.
That's it.
That too.
Our culture,
that's the main thing.
Our culture overall is looking for acceptance from other cultures.
Stop looking for acceptance on social media.
If you want acceptance, get acceptance from the person in the mirror that you see.
Yeah,
that's the only acceptance you need.
I promise you, that's gonna be the day that you walk a different path and a different beat when you get that acceptance that Devo just referred to. So, ever since I've discovered it, I've been that way. I'm woke. You'll never see me sleep again. I'm serious, man. You gotta wake up out here, man. Wake up, man.
And fellas, like, please approach these black women the correct way. Stop sliding in DMs. Stop inboxing. Stop with the emojis.
Sending dick pics.
Right. Stop snapping dick pics. Getting blocked. Tired of all this eggplant. Like, we don't even know how to, like, court women anymore. Women too. Women too. That's what I'm about to say. Women too. Women too. Y'all to blame too. Stop with all the thought photos.
It's hard.
Stop putting out the disclaimer every time you post a picture with no makeup. Like, I ain't got no makeup on, so because you know you're gonna get fried because you always post pictures with makeup. Like, just stop. Like, all that's unnecessary. I'm tired of seeing y'all in the club. Post some other stuff. Just grow.
At the end of the day, stop letting social media dictate how you live your life. Period. It's just that simple. Women, if you're not a person that wears makeup, don't let social media tell you that you should wear makeup. If you ain't ever had a pair of red bottom shoes, don't let social media tell you that you should get a pair of red bottom shoes that you can't afford. Stop letting social media tell you the decisions and the choices that you should make for you and your life and your family's life. Because at the end of the day, it's not real. These people that's posting all these things, I guarantee you the stuff that they posting, they not living day to day. They not. Do you know how easy it is? I can go take a picture of some red bottom shoes right now and say they mine, but I can be in the store and just take a picture of them. That's how easy it is to have people believing that your life is something that is really not. It's just that simple. And when you are authentic and you real, people will identify with that. People will identify with that. So just be yourself, man. Stop letting social media tell you that you should be somebody else, because people will see straight through that.
Okay, with that being said, I just got a few quick sponsors to shout out real quick. The 4th annual Kicks for the City 3-week shoe drive for the experienced homeless and poverty starts today to the 17th in cities DC, Los Angeles, St. Louis, New York, Detroit, and of course Chicago. If you have any questions, you can please log on to www.kicks4thecity.org. Also, in affiliation with Kicks for the City, Jackson Corporate Law Offices presents Networking for a Greater Good, Tuesday, November 17th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Municipal Bar and Grill, located at 216 West Ohio Street in Chicago, Illinois. And lastly, for the ladies, sponsored by Sense of Change by Kobe Chapman, Women Empowered for Civil Engagement presents Choosing the Best Path for You, featuring Desiree Tate and Toby Axon. It is this Saturday, November 7th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Corliss Early College High School at 821 East 103rd Street. So, with that being said, please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at i94 Podcast. And if you have any questions, any feedback, you can email us at i94podcast@gmail.com. And that is a wrap for episode 3. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.
Peace. Thanks for joining us.